York Daily News.
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers prefers to play for the Rams next season. And not only that, he wants to bring a buddy, Davante Adams, with him. Now, you have floated for a couple weeks now that Rodgers to the Rams makes sense. But listen, if they move on from Cooper Kupp and they add Davante Adams to Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, that's not bad.
It makes sense. Is when you look at what happened, just take Brett Favre. Where did Russell Wilson want to go when he was in dysfunction? He wanted to go to Pittsburgh, which may underachieve, but it's not dysfunctional. Tom Brady had been in super function in New England, so he was willing to go to an organization that was a little wonky, Tampa. And so what you find is Aaron had all this stability in Green Bay, like Favre did. Favre and Aaron go to the Jets and go, holy hell, get me out of here. So what did Favre do? Let me go to the Vikings. They're well run. I won't have chaos around me. And I think Aaron's saying, listen, I tried the thing in New York. I like stability. I'm a grown-up. I do my own workouts. I don't need to be chased around. I mean, Aaron can go hide in Malibu and with the Rams. I mean, you never see Matt Stafford out. This is not New York where it's always, Woody Johnson isn't close to Stan Kroenke in terms of the formidable owner. Aaron Rodgers to the Rams. I don't think it's going to happen because I think they're going to re-sign Stafford, but that's who I would go get.
So let's say they re-sign Stafford. Where does Rodgers go?
Vegas feels right. Whoa, slow down. Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, Brock Bowers, Max Crosby. But I think what Aaron is seeking here is not only a good organization, but what he is seeking is what he had in Green Bay, which is grown-ups and stability. And you just don't get that with the Jets. You just don't.
Yeah,
the owner just got voted 32 out of 32 by Jets players in an anonymous poll.
That's not a surprise. Davante Adams is still under contract with the Jets.
They don't need Davante Adams.
If the Jets release him, they clear $29 million in cap space. Love that.
Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of Cooper Kupp. The Rams don't need Davante Adams.
I'm sorry. I was saying, you don't think the Rams would take Davante Adams?
No.
He's best friends with Rodgers. He goes everywhere.
Aaron doesn't have any leverage. He would be lucky to get the Rams. He doesn't have any leverage. This is not the Jets. Aaron's going to go there, and he's not going to tell people who to bring with me. Davante Adams is the last thing they need. They've got a number one, Puka. What they have to do is find their next star in the draft.
Well, the rest of their depth chart at receiver is very uncertain, Colin. They have Cooper Kupp's going to be gone. Demarcus Robinson, free agent. Tutu Atwell, give me a break. They need somebody at receiver. Do you just say, hey, bring your buddy, Davante Adams, to Rodgers?
Have you seen how much he costs?
I have, yeah.
If you're going to pay Stafford, and if you're paying Stafford, all right, then I'm going to have to pay, if he leaves, then I got to pay Aaron, and now I got to pay Davante Adams, and what if I can't get rid of Cooper Kupp? I got so much money in just wide receiver.
It's a tough one. It's not going to be easy for the Rams, that's for sure, but the Jets they're looking great. All right, let's move on to, we're now talking about the Patriots again because you love them next season. Mike Vrabel has a lot of work to do to get this team back to the postseason. They do have Drake May, so they're in the right direction. But he spoke about the challenge of getting back to their winning ways yesterday at the Combine.
Our expectations aren't going to change. It's going to be to win the division. It's going to be to host home playoff games, and it's going to be to compete for championships. That's why we're here. That's why I got hired. And it's to win. It's to put a product on the field that they can be excited about, that they can care about, and they can support. Like, that's the whole goal. And they shouldn't have to wait very long. And but we also have to understand that we're not going to fix every issue on the first day of free agency, or we're not going to fill every hole on the first or second day of the draft.
Listen, they have the most cap space.
$128 million.
They will get minimum 3 starters out of the draft because they're lacking certain speed elements. They'll probably get 4 starters out of the. Now think about this. I'll just throw this out. So was Jim Harbaugh worth a touchdown to the Chargers from Brandon Staley?
100%.
Okay, Gerard Mayo, like Staley, a little bit over his skis. So let's just say this. Let's just say Vrabel is worth 3.5 to 4 points from Gerard Mayo. That feels true. Free agency with all that money is probably worth a point to a point and a half. Now you got 5.5 points better. The draft with 4 starters worth half a point. So if they are 6 points better than that's how Vegas would look at it. So if Vrabel's worth a little more than a field goal. You can go get a number one receiver. That's a point. You start looking around. Look at how many games they lost last year. You'd be amazed how many close games they lost by like 5 and 6 and 3 and 2 and 1 point. So I just think, I'm not saying, I don't know, what did they win 4 games last year?
Not many.
My take is they will be, remember I said Washington is going to surprise the league. They're going to be a wild card team. Vrabel's worth 4 to 4.5 points. The free agent class is worth 1 point to 1.5 points. The draft class worth 0.5 point. And by the way, the Jets losing Aaron Rodgers, that's 2 W's in New England.
Stop. Listen, I think the audience is going to start rooting against the Patriots because if you start hitting all these picks like 7 months in advance, then you're going to get a little bit of an inflated ego. If the Patriots hit on the heels of last year. Like
J.J. Redick, I have the self-awareness to understand I've got it.
Final story is Nick Sirianni and the Eagles. Man, this whole tush-push stuff, Colin. Coaches and GMs are putting their thoughts on the record after the Packers. Well, Sirianni discussed all the narrative surrounding the play. This is fun.
It's a skill that our team has because of the players that we have, the way the coaches coach it. There's just so much time put into it. The fact that it's a successful play for the Eagles and people want to take that away, I think is a little unfair, a little bit insulting in that sense of that, because the guys work hard at it, we work hard at it.
Yeah,
some interesting numbers here.
All right,
so
let me
remember,
hear the
they
numbers.
had Kelsey at center, and when he left, everybody was like, oh, that's a huge loss. They still did a lot of tush push. The numbers, the Eagles have run it 108 times since 2022. The second most team, Buffalo Bills at 55. So a half, basically, of the amount of times the Eagles have run it. Third most team is your Bears, 16. Basically, the Eagles are the only ones doing this. The Bills are trying. It failed miserably against the Chiefs. So why would everybody want to ban it? Why don't they at least try it?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. Jalen Hurts squats 600 pounds. He is a unique player for it, and he's also short. So you get this like power lifter body behind the best offensive line in football. So some of it's just personnel realities. A lot of it's that. Most quarterbacks, Justin Herbert 6'5", Josh Allen 6'6", or they don't squat 600 pounds. They're big targets. Like Josh Allen jumping over the line is a huge target. Nor do they have the offensive line. So Philadelphia has this uniquely built quarterback, short and a power lifter body, and then they have a great O-line, so it works for them. That's the argument to keep it, is they have personnel advantages. The argument to get away from it is it can be a bit dangerous when you have people.
There's no evidence of that. It could be dangerous, but there's no evidence of Eagles who run it 108 times. Injuries, where are they? So this danger angle, I think you got to toss that out.
How about this angle? It's a repetitive play that's bad TV.
I mean, I think every Eagles fan on the planet would argue against bad TV. It's automatic. They're running it at a 87% clip. I mean, it's working. It's automatic. Why would you want to ban it? I just don't get that.
Well, PATs were automatic. Kickoff touchbacks were automatic. The league has a history of getting off of things that are boring.
So are you surprised that because the Eagles have had so much success, other teams haven't been like, hey, we could have a backup quarterback like a Taysom Hill be our tush push guy? Like, why not?
Why didn't everybody copy the triangle offense with Phil Jackson? Because they didn't have Kobe or Michael. Why didn't you ask yourself, everybody in the world, why the Lakers are the only team running this brilliant offense? Because Michael Jordan was unstoppable in it, and the only other player in league history that was 90% Michael was Kobe Bryant. And so a lot of it's personnel.
So you just put Jalen Hurts in the Michael.
Well, I think Jalen Hurts is a 600-pound powerlifting, 5'11 and a half guy that gets behind the best O-line. It's a personnel advantage. That's the Eagles' best argument is we just got better players at this. And they do. They're uniquely built. If Jalen Hurts is 6'6", it doesn't work as well. He's a target. Like Jaden Daniels is not a player I would do this with because